What's up, Mets and overall baseball fans? Welcome back to the channel. And folks, we have a really interesting discussion regarding another stud Japanese pitcher set to hit the MLB, and how the potential of him landing in Queens is already far greater than maybe you realize. But before we get into it all I ask is that if you're new to the channel, don't hesitate from smashing that like and subscribe on. Help us get to 20k subs for our next short-term goal. Thank you guys all so much in advance as always. And of course, I have to let you all know that today's show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs, so make sure you head over to betonline.ag using promo code Bleav at BLEAV. That way get a 50% off welcome bonus. BetOnline, it's where the games begin. And now, folks, let's let the show begin, because big report that came out yesterday, December 1st, from Michael Mayer, Metsmerize, that yes, from the MPB, the 6'8", 180-pound, 28-year-old right-hander, that being in Shintaro Fujinami, has officially been posted by his team and the Tigers back in the MPB. And my raw reactions to that, I want to see yours in the comments below. But for me, I'm excited about this, okay? We've already talked about Kodai Senga, the Mets have showed a certain level of interest with. They met in person. He, of course, is a free agent, a stud pitcher from the MPB that the Mets really like. He very well could be a Bassett or a Taijuan Walker replacement should they land him. In the scenario where you still bring back a Jacob deGrom or one of those ace-level pitchers, you can still get creative and land Kodai Senga after landing those guys, or even beforehand potentially. But now you talk about another pitcher from the MPB here. Again, Billy Epler loves these guys. He did a phenomenal job scouting Shohei Ohtani and landing him as GM during his time with the Angels. So he has that familiarity, he has that rapport, great connections there with the MPB already. So I'm really curious to see exactly how much scouting the Mets have done with Shintaro to this point, because what is he? He is a perfect fit for this Mets bullpen. With Trevor Williams, Seth Lugo likely out here, Adam Ottavino has yet to re-sign at the time of recording this, even though the Mets do want to bring him back. Shintaro is someone that can come in as a lawn reliever just like Trevor Williams at a cheaper cost, because Trev is probably going to get a similar deal, not far off, I would imagine, from a Zach Eflin, who just signed yesterday at the time of recording this, 3 years, $40 million with the Tampa Bay Rays. A Tyler Anderson signed a similar contract with the Angels. The pitching market is expensive. The Mets already threw out $100 million to Edwin Diaz, so they have to get creative with their bullpen. That's why they're showing interest in Tommy Kahnle as well, a guy coming off of Tommy John surgery, but still has nasty stuff that we've discussed in previous videos. Make sure to check it out down below after watching this one, folks. So they got to get creative in Shintaro. He has that beautiful arsenal. As you see from the stat line down here, really strong 2022 campaign with a sub-3 ERA, K per 9, over 9, walks per 9 around 3. That's why I like to see over 100 strikeouts this past season and just around 107 innings pitched for the Tigers. What do you get? Fastball, 100 miles per hour, just like Kodai Senga. Forkball / splitter, just like Kodai Senga, and a nasty slider. Very similar arsenal to Kodai Senga. However, he is deemed, according to MLB scouts, as someone that will likely be more so of a lawn reliever or a late game reliever with dominant stuff at the MLB level, because one, we don't know exactly how he's going to transition at the MLB level. The ball's different in Japan. We know that the velo is a little different because of that as well. But two, he was someone that was originally brought up as the next big thing, truly as the next Shohei Ohtani. They were in the same class together. He was at the young age of 19 when he made his NPB debut as a starter. Fast forward a decade later to this point, he has had a roller coaster career in the NPB. Started off hot, fantastic. Then around 2017, had an absolute low. Walk rate was through the roof, amongst the worst in the NPB, was even demoted to the minors, but has really brought himself back up now. And again, when you have a nasty, filthy arsenal like Shintaro, it doesn't come as a surprise that you're going to struggle with your command. What can Jeremy Hefner do with him? The same way that I always famously reference Adam Ottavino gained his walk rate down, I could see the same here with Shintaro. And with the type of life that you have on your fastball, the splitty, everything, you have so much potential here if you're the New York Mets to land a guy like this. Not only potentially him and Kodai Senga, maybe just one of them, but it also helps your pursuit of Shohei Ohtani potentially next offseason. But when you land someone like him, keep in mind that he was posted. He's not a normal free agent like Kodai Senga, okay? So let's talk hypothetically. Say he gets a deal just like Nick Martinez, who was just re-signed by the Padres, 3 years, $26 million, and he, of course, a year prior was signed out of the MPB to be with the Padres. So just using that as a reference here as an example, if he signed, say, a 3-year, $25 million deal, the posted means that the Mets would also have to pay an additional 20% compensation of that type of contract to the Tigers in the MPB. If they go to a 30-year deal, say he makes around 10 mil AAV over a 3-year span, regardless of what options might be in that contract, then the Mets have to pay an additional 17.5% going to the Tigers if it passes $25 million and doesn't surpass 30. So just keep in mind how the Cubs signed that being Seiya Suzuki last offseason. They had to not just pay that big contract, but also the compensation that came with it. So it's a little bit of a trickier situation. I'm really curious again to see what the future of someone like Shintaro Fujinami is going to be, because he only has a month span to sign with a team. That's how it works when you're posted. If he doesn't get a deal done by the time January is up, then he's going back to the MPP, just like what Tomoyuki Sugano did, another strong starter that was trying to hit the MLB 2 off seasons ago, but I think it went in hand with COVID a little bit, that the transition wasn't proper for him then. We'll see if he ever hits the bigs. But the point again is Shintaro Fujinami, a guy to keep an eye on. He's gonna have a lot of hot suitors over this next month, a short time frame to sign the towering 6'6", 180-pound flame-throwing machine. You can land him Mets and get him as potentially guy to compete for the back end of your rotation if you want, be a swing man or be just a dominant 1 or 2 inning reliever to fill in for the Seth Lugos, the Trevor Williams of the world at a likely cheaper cost, so you can get more creative, and has far higher potential, far higher ceiling than what you've already seen with Seth Lugo, Trevor Williams, and even Adam Ottavino aside. We know what you're getting with these guys. He might be a big wild card, but all the potential of the world is there with Shintaro, and that's why I'm excited talking about it, and that's why I'm really looking forward to see what is going to happen with them, and if the Mets can get something done. I'm really drawing more of that Japanese/Asian market to Queens as a potential buildup as well for Shohei Ohtani in 2023 offseason. But Mets fans, I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Shintaro Fujinami potentially landing in Queens as your next swingman/late game high flame-throwing stuff reliever? I'm really excited about this. I know you're probably in favor or against, and understandably so. You always got to be cautiously optimistic with a guy coming from the MPB. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to drop them. And of course, folks, make sure to stay tuned. We will be live later today around 8 p.m. Eastern Time, December 2nd, barring any changes as of now, discussing all the latest news and rumors for the Mets in a free agent frenzy stream. We're talking about Carlos Rodon, big update. Chris Bassett, big update. More on Fujinami and plenty of others. Stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this kind of Mets content, and I'll see you real soon. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.